One plausible explanation in particular explains why Janet McTeer's enigmatic character, Kat, who debuted in episode 7 of MobLand, has so much more power than the criminal leaders that have been introduced thus far. Richie Stevenson started to level the playing field against the Harrigans for killing his wife and son by the end of episode 7. A single phone call from a lady identified only as Kat, however, prevented him from causing even more harm to his opponents by preventing Jaime Lopez of the cartel, which has not yet been given a name, from carrying out Serafina Harrigan's execution. The simmering conflicts between the Harrigan and Stevenson crime groups, which both traffic in weapons and drugs in London, have dominated MobLand's 7 episodes. The stakes were raised for everyone when 2 killings turned the corporate competition into a full-scale conflict. Nonetheless, Episode 7 was a crucial reminder of how much more widespread organized crime is worldwide. The show's scope is likely to expand significantly if MobLand Season 2 is produced, and Kat McCallister may hold the key to that global future. So far about Janet McTeer's Kat McCallister. Since Janet McTeer's Kat McCallister only makes a brief appearance on screen at the conclusion of Episode 7, very little about her has been disclosed thus far. She turns out to be the reason for Donnie's sporadic appearances. Donnie is the enigmatic man who has come to Zosha several times in search of Harry, and it is Donnie who Harry ultimately turns to in his hour of need, with Brendan and Serafina actually on the chopping board. It is evident that she has financial support because she is seen working with financial records of some kind on an opulent private plane. But her incredible power is obviously not limited to that. She is able to totally destroy Jaime Lopez's and the cartel's business ties with Richie Stevenson in a matter of seconds on the phone. It is obvious that Kat is much more than just a billionaire splurging for influence, since someone who makes the cartel shudder is not to be taken lightly. Among the distractingly poor dialects of MobLand, her American accent is even more noticeable. Could Kat be part of the CIA? The most plausible popular theory regarding Kat's identity is that she is a powerful individual in a multinational organization, notably the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, of the United States. That theory is supported by her American accent, but more significantly, it is supported by her relationship with Jaime Lopez. The CIA has long been suspected of working with the cartels, limiting and/or directing the flow of drugs into America to suit their own interests, despite their inability to halt it. It is obvious that Jaime and Kat have been together for a long time because they use each other's first names. Kat's ostensibly extravagant lifestyle would be explained if she were a dishonest CIA agent who was taking advantage of the cartels. For her further suggests that she is involved in the way his business is run. The cartels don't take favors lightly, but if Kat's music keeps the drug trade going globally, then it would definitely explain why he leaps at the sound of her voice. Kat shows that the Harrigans and Stevensons are really small fry. Kat's debut serves as a crucial reminder of how limited MobLand's plot has been thus far. Even though there is a sense of high-powered action, deaths, and explosions, Kat's ability to dismantle the cartel with a phone call highlights how pointless the Harrigan-Stevenson arguments are in the context of global organized crime. It would appear that both Irish criminal families might be swayed by groups that are substantially more powerful than they are. Together with Jamie and Kat's involvement, Episode 7 shifts the main storyline action to Antwerp, Belgium, which makes it abundantly evident how completely outgunned Conrad 100 Guns Harrigan is in any gang conflict. Even after suffering unimaginable losses, Richie remains composed and is able to ask higher authorities for help when he needs it. Meanwhile, without Tom Hardy's Harry D'Souza, as demonstrated by his frantic appeal to Kat McCallister, the, rightfully, paranoid and insane pair of Conrad and Maeve Harrigan would be utterly, hilariously lost. Kat being CIA might then reveal Harry's own backstory. Kat might be the first clue to the enigma surrounding Harry D'Souza's past if she is indeed CIA. It has become abundantly evident that Harry is much more than just Conrad's lapdog. His almost limitless network of contacts, people to call for favors, and colleagues are all signs of someone with genuine influence. Additionally, it's evident that Harry and Kat have a long history together and are aware of the apparent repercussions of asking for a favor. Their prior interactions in the realm of international shadow operations may be the cause of that. Here, and Harry could undoubtedly be MI6, the UK's secret intelligence service, which is essentially the country's equivalent of the CIA if Cat is CIA. Based solely on a tattoo of a local gang on a deceased attacker, Harry finds someone who can tell him who took Brendan and Serafina without any hesitation or problem. In order to obtain information from a crime leader, he then goes on to raise a whole warehouse of goons, suggesting that he may also have served in the British Army's Special Air Service, SAS, a special forces outfit. It is obvious that Harry has tactical military training, which goes much beyond what one would receive from merely serving in a regular branch of the armed forces. Following her last-minute rescue of Serafina Harrigan, Kat makes a great deal out of Harry now owing her a favor, which, judging by his response, may have something to do with his prior connections or abilities. It seemed inevitable that Harry's history with Kat McAllister will play a significant role in MobLand as the show approaches its season finale.